Good morning. Welcome back to the Cob Barndominium. And today we're going to talk about our kitchen. Last time I made a video, we made a little bit of viewing, I guess, of the kitchen cabinets and how I was building them. I think talked about the grand design. At the moment, they're almost done. And they're noticeably different, right, than other cabinets. They're not actually done. They're just ready to be permanent. So I've kind of mocked them up for all intents and purposes now. There's a lot of work that needs to get done, and we'll talk about it. But what I also wanted to talk about was why we chose to do our cabinets like we are doing and some of the sacrifices we've made, and how that ties into what we needed out of a Cob house. So let's go ahead and go take a look. The lights in here is crazy. Let's wipe this lens here just to make sure. So we have most of a countertop, and we have nothing underneath. So they're not really cabinets, nor are they supposed to be. The stage I'm at now, we can get back here and see them. The stage I'm at now is most of the wood is actually screwed in or notched. Some of the 4x4s and stuff are notched in. The top here, you see this trim, this is not set in. Right here you can see I'm testing out how to put my clamps on here and actually collecting enough clamps to do so. That will be glued. I went with a pretty low trim on each side, but what I intend on doing is kind of sealing all this stuff up in these holes and doing an epoxy fill, I guess you would say. And that epoxy will go down into the gaps. Let's see here. So we have these gaps here. I'll do some early coats to do some of these. Supposedly there's a lot of air bubbles that come out, so we'll do, you know, like a epoxy coat primer to kind of work that. But ideally, the whole point would be to get a, you know, a nice filled level in between these boards. Now, this is the same wood as our redwood barn door. This wood was pressure washed and sanded with 120 grit and 220 grit multiple times because I was really looking for that specific glow and that color. You know, I needed to take enough of the patina off of it. This cabinet set won't go through as much of a treatment. None of this, well, maybe a few boards have been pressure washed, only because you can see there is, I mean, it's kind of a reclaimed from another project too. There's some boards that you'll see throughout here that are reused from the door. But ideally, this will be kind of a darker, maybe dingier, I guess you could say, look. It will get 120 and 220 sandpaper gone over it, but just to clean up everything, get all the crust off and things like that, make it easier for the epoxy to attach, and underneath, okay, I'm not really going to build out cabinets. Obviously, I have the things that are set in here. This is a downdraft glass. It's kind of a weird thing, but it's like a glass cartridge insert, cooktop, and one of these old cast iron sinks that I got from Habitat for Humanity. And underneath, obviously, there's things I'm going to have to cover up. There's this big blower motor, which is why it makes it a downdraft cooktop. I'm going to reroute it to go out the hole that we've set in our foundation for all of our electrical and water. And right here, I'll put a stove, a very small in-wall unit. So you can see that area will be covered up, and what's to the left will eventually become, I think they call it open concept shelving, but it's cabinets without cabinet doors, because I just don't care to build them. That's really intricate. I don't want to buy a router just for that. So we'll just do some nice shelving. And then again over here, you know, we have this sink, huge sink, 43 inches wide, over this gap. I'm hoping to put a dishwasher, but it's an on-countertop dishwasher, so it's like just one row, not a double rack, but it's just a single rack dishwasher under here, and that will give us cabinets here. The reason I'm explaining cabinets is because I don't intend on doing, let's get a better angle here. Oh, there is not one. But up here, above the cabinets, and I mean above the countertop, there's not going to be any storage. I'm trying to figure out how not to put the microwave on the countertop. But in our kitchen, there's not even going to be a refrigerator. And over here will be like a L-shaped, they call it a breakfast nook, but it's just like a bench with a table and some chairs around it. And we really wanted to preserve the way that you can't see because of the backlighting. But, you know, we just love the walls, right? And all this texture and stuff. So we just didn't want to ruin that view with cupboards up here and a huge refrigerator, double door refrigerator and stuff like that. So we're kind of sacrificing. That's why we broke up our oven. It doesn't break the countertop up. We sacrificed nothing on the sink besides price. It was very, very reasonable since it was like from a thrift store. And underneath, I'm not going to do full cabinets, just shelving. And it's to kind of support like a minimalist situation. I'm not going to be able to shove everything I want into my kitchen. One of the things we're doing to fix that is I'm putting a bunch of shelving in here. I know there's odd spacing. Mostly that's the window. But all this shelving is to accommodate anything that I can't put in my cabinets. If it can't go in here with our food, then we're just not going to have it. And we are going to do a refrigerator inside, but it will be under this window. It's one of those old, not old, but it's like a faux retro appliance. So it's like a freezer refrigerator combo, kind of like a huge mini fridge. That will go in there. But everything else is actually going to be an outdoor room. I'm going to build like a little 10 by 10 after we move into the main house. I'm going to build like a little 10 by 10 laundry room. And we'll put, you know, not so great looking double refrigerator out there. And I already actually have a single door deep freeze. And our washers and dryers will go out there. And a lot of this is because we don't want appliances that make a bunch of heat inside. You know, I don't want to do my washer and dryer inside because they make heat. A huge refrigerator and freezer and deep freeze, they make heat. I don't have the space for them regardless. But, you know, I want to use the AC that we've installed as little as possible. So those are some of the sacrifices that we're making. Oh, excuse me. In our kitchen, and how we're restructuring our cabinets and going towards kind of a storage closet for our food and kitchen gadgets, and pushing everything outside to make sure that we don't have to cool those items as much. We might even do a vent fan through the wall to get that refrigerator's exhaust outside too. So that's it. I'll show y'all another video as the countertops come along even further. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe and comment and share it all. Let's get Cob houses out there. So have a good day, guys. Thanks.